If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Well, when the hurricane recently hit South and North Carolina, I had made a video right before that talking about how RVers, if they can survive the initial impact of a hurricane, has a really unique way of being able to deal with the after effects of the hurricane. Power outages, water, food, all those things. Nomads have to do this on a daily basis. Have to live with limited electric or no electric. You know, have to be able to pack enough food and water to live out in the forest for weeks on end. Well, of course, now we've had a hurricane that hit Florida. And this one actually affects me a little bit more personally because I do know someone. My father, he actually lives a quarter mile off the coast of the Gulf Coast, up on a hill about 30 feet above sea level. He manages an RV park down there. He's building a little house down there. So while he's building it, he is living in his RV. Of course, he used to be a full-time traveler like me in a travel trailer. Well, now he owns a fifth wheel. And recently, within the last year or so, he moved up onto this piece of property he bought, and he's building a little house. That way he can stay close to the campgrounds that he managed. Now, we all can second guess his decisions. And hindsight being 2020, it's real easy to say, oh, he should have left. Well, you got to remember, this hurricane hit pretty quick. When he learned about the hurricane, they were calling it, I forget what class, let's say it was a class 1 or 2. It was 70-mile-an-hour winds. And he's survived those before, so he wasn't concerned about this hurricane at all. He learned about it, I think, on Sunday. And so, of course, the entire time, he is keeping an eye on the weather until he lost electric. He just assumed that he was going to have to survive a very mild hurricane. Well, when it actually hit the coast, he's already lost electric. There was winds of 155 miles an hour. Now, fortunately, this guy is pretty smart. I got to give my dad credit. He's a smart guy. He is pre-prepared. When he moved the camper onto the piece of property from the RV park, a year ago, he aimed it north and south. And the reason is he always suspected that it would be very odd or very unlikely if the eye of the hurricane actually crossed right over him. It was most likely the hurricane would hit him on the east or the west. And if you do that, you point the nose or the tail of the fifth wheel into the wind, it's much more survivable than if the wind has to hit it from the side. Same with my camper. My camper is designed to ride in the wind. It can ride 70 miles an hour real easy. If I ever get into a windstorm, I turn the truck into the wind, and it doesn't even rock the truck. But you get a little gust of wind and hit the side of that camper, and it feels like it's going to flip over on you. So the hurricane hit Wednesday. He survived it. His camper survived it. The house he's building survived it. Not any damage to his place. I said in the last video that if you can survive the initial impact, RVers have it made. Because this is when everything that he had learned from living on the road took effect. He rewired his water well. He's got a well for his house that he's building. So he wired that into his generator and his refrigerator. So that took care of two key components that I talked about, was food and water. So he's got food and water. His shelter's still good. He was able to survive with normal comfort. He said the only regret he had is he didn't have air conditioner. Well, he's just gotten spoiled to air conditioners, because I even laughed at him and said, 20 years ago, that would have been the reverse. Him telling me, I don't need an air conditioner, tough it out, boy. Well, now he's up there in age, and he needs the air conditioner. I'm like, tough it out, dude. So he had water and electric. Of course, he couldn't make contact with anybody. He didn't have a phone. The only phone he had was his cell phone. I guess Saturday, he borrowed a neighbor's phone who had cell service and was able to call me and let me know he was okay. So getting back to the basics. RVers, if they can survive the initial impact, has to think about a few things. One, make sure your shelter is suitable. And these RVs, they're designed to take some wind force, obviously, because they drive down the road at 70 miles an hour, and they survive it fine. So always keep your camper pointed into the wind and try to maintain it no more than 70 miles an hour. I realized Dad did 155 miles an hour. He was not expecting wind speeds that high. He would have left. He said he would have left if he knew it was going to be that high. The second part is you got to have water. He had a generator where he could run the well, but this is where our system comes in real handy. We can collect rainwater and filter it through our Berkey, or we can even use our pre-filter, filter it through our pre-filter, and we have water. We can take it out of streams, we can take it out of ponds, and we can get clean drinking water. The other thing you're going to want is electric. We have a refrigerator. We need electric for our refrigeration. So the same thing with Dad. He was running the well and the refrigerator. That was it. So he was taking care of two things with electric. I would have only taken care of one, which was the food. You got to have food. And I would prepare for 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, they returned his electric within 4 days. There's still places down there that doesn't have electric. They're saying 3 weeks. So you need to be able to provide electric for yourself for 3 weeks to survive a hurricane situation, which also means you need gasoline. Now my generator can run my refrigerator and computers and different things through my battery. So here's how my system works. I have a generator that twice a day I run to charge through a regular battery charger. You can buy at Walmart. I think the battery charger was $40. And so you charge your batteries. And then when your refrigerator kicks on, the batteries provide power to what's called an inverter. An inverter changes DC electric into AC electric. And I can run my house refrigerator. It's a house refrigerator. It's a mini fridge. But it's got a freezer and a refrigerator. Thing costs 130 bucks. The inverter only cost $40 at Walmart. The battery costs $80. And so you could actually have this system in your house if you wanted to do this in your house. And that's what I'm suggesting, is this system is not hard. So then you can survive your 3 weeks. Make sure you got enough gas, like I said, to run 3 weeks. Mine, I use about 5 gallons of gas a week, a little less. Real story on how to survive a hurricane in an RV. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.